Calliope Studios, New York City. That was like definitely the native tongue home, because we worked there, De La worked there, and Trae worked there. We all worked there on our first albums, and they had a lot of different artists. I can't remember all the names, but there was a slew of artists that came through there. Of course, Stetson Sonic was through there at the time. Prince Paul did a lot of stuff. MC Search was through that studio. I mean, the list is ridiculous of artists that came through there, and it was like a home. I mean, it was for me, everything was good if it was in Manhattan. So this one was right off 34th Street on 8th Avenue. I'll never forget the night Mace had just bought his new Pathfinder and they stole it from right in front. That was sick, man. My heart, I felt for him so bad. Like, damn, they lived in Long Island too, and it's like, damn, you know, at a certain time, you're not getting to Long Island. So it's like you had to wait till the morning. But yeah, Calliope Studios, goodness gracious, we had a lot of good times in there. I mean, we recorded the second album there. We recorded Buddy there. Tribe did their first album there. De La did their, I think, first and second maybe album there. If those walls could talk, goodness gracious.
We found out about that studio when we recorded Buddy with De La Soul when they were doing their first album, 3 Feet High and Rising. So we started doing Done by the Forces of Nature at Calliope Studios. And pretty much the same way we did the first album, turntable based, but the only difference was the engineer knew how to use the sampler, so the basic beats were looped, but the stuff on top, bass lines, sound effects, vocals that were scratched, I would scratch them on top live onto the 2-inch tape machine. And we had guests that came through since we were in Manhattan and easier to reach. Brother Jay from X-Clan that came through. Lumumba from X-Clan, Paradise from X-Clan, KRS-One, Africa Bambaataa, Moni Love, De La Soul, Jungle DJ Tower from Delight, Juju from Beatnuts. Yeah, there's a lot of people floating through, and I produced a few records, and I used to have both rooms booked, so I have a Jungle Brothers session going on, and then in another room I was producing records for Stereo MCs, which is a group from London. For their album Supernatural, I did 3 songs, Back to the Wild, Smoking with the Mother Man, I can't remember the third one. Yeah, those were fun times.
At Calliope Studios, I remember working with Prince Paul when we were doing Buddy, man. He was the orchestrator. He laid it all out for us, and what a classic he made. De La, they had Paul at the helm, so with De La, everything was really organized because Paul was at the helm for the most part. So by the time we came in, I think maybe Paz and Af might have talked about it, but it was just like, yo, come on, we're going to the studio. We're going to work on a song for De La's album. And I remember by the time I got there, a lot of the verse was already laid, and he was like, yo, okay, you got this many bars, and this is the theme of the song, and so forth and so on. It went pretty fast. It took me just a little while. I wrote a long one, and then we broke it up into parts to go throughout the song.
This song was what established us as the Native Tongues. And we were on our way to the UK to do our second tour, and we just had like a couple of days to go in and do it. And I remember Prince Paul being there, Mr. Long from Black Sheep on the turntables, doing the cuts. Yeah, it was like all scientists in the lab. Paz was there, I remember that, and he was like, yo, first thing he's telling me, he's like, right here at this part, I want you to sing the chorus that you wrote for Because I Got It Like That, Straight Out the Jungle's first album. I want you to sing that, dancing on the dance floor. So I was like, yeah, sure, cool. You know, it was scientific, but then it started to turn into like a jam.
I'll never forget when Latifah came, though, and little horny-ass Lucien was there. Lucien, that's my man. Lucien all day. But yeah, I remember Latifah came through. She did the ad-libs at the end, and Lucien came in with her. Yeah, it was magic. It was magic all through that studio. Moni was there. So I think that was the final mix for that song. That was super dope.
A memorable studio moment in Calliope was working on the single Living in the Light by Karen Wheeler for her first solo album. We had Uncle Mike there, Ali Shahi Muhammad's uncle, who played bass on the record. I just gave her a demo of the track, Karen Wheeler, a demo of the track, and she was staying in a hotel about 2 blocks away. And she ran to the hotel room, wrote the whole song, and came back the next day and sung it in like 2 takes, and it was done. And then she did her harmonies, overdubs, and then Uncle Mike came in and played bass on it, and it was done within like 5 hours. And I was like, wow, that's what her voice sounds like. You know, I was able to hear her voice without music. You know, like if she had the headphones on and I could just hear her singing through the booth. It was very inspiring and encouraging to use my voice too, because she was just singing in almost in a natural speaking voice, you know, and it was all this magic in the room that was making, like, we were all quiet as we were recording and doing everything. And it was just I just remember a lot of magic in the room when that was happening.
I'm still thinking that's some sound guy or whatever, and he's going, da, 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 and I go, huh? And he just stole on me. Pop and clocked me like right around here. Like he got me good.
You got to school your own. You have to get knowledge of yourself from your own. Racism is rampant and runs deep because nobody seems to know what it is.
Everybody was saying that those lyrics were dope, and I'm like, really? Oh, then you ain't heard nothing yet, you know? So, I mean, you know, I always felt like, you know, yeah, when I started taking myself serious at MC, I thought that I had something special for the game.
Creativity is going to change the planet for us. And artists are the ones that's going to lead that.